Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, Herd 37. So this is going to be a little different, what we're going to do today, because we're going to do a flight, but first I got to talk about some, Air Hauler's now changed a couple of things. They're kind of important. What is that, by the way? Oh. I have no idea what that is. Quick access toolbar, I think maybe it's this, I don't know. Alright, so I fired Air Hauler 2 up a little bit ago, and they had updated it, so I did the new update and all this stuff. Well, now, from now on, you can't, it's kind of like more like Air Hauler 1, I guess, in that you cannot change your plane configuration unless you're at the base, which kind of makes sense, you know, if you're out how can you throw your seats in if you don't have the seats in, or if you're taking the seats out to go to a cargo and you're not at your base, well, you really shouldn't be able to do that. So there's no more ad hoc flights like that. You can do ad hoc flights if you're at your base, you know, change your configuration, and then you can go out flying ad hoc flights, I guess. But just flying out somewhere and changing like that when you're not at your base, no more of that. So that kind of sucks because it ruined what I was going to do. And so I was actually going to position myself. I tried this a few times, and things were getting screwed up, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I started to position myself somewhere, and I noticed when it loaded up, something didn't seem right. And I was looking at my GPS, and it had the right place that I was going to, but I couldn't see the line going from me to the GPS and everything. And that's because I think what was happening, well, I know it was happening, I didn't figure it out until like the third time. It was starting us up at the wrong place. So I think it was 19 KY, which is Paris, Kentucky, which is down around here. In our last flight, I think we went from 19 KY up here to, was OH 37 or something? But when it was starting me up, it was starting me down here, and I could not figure out why. I actually went to one place. Also, I didn't realize that airport I was flying to, West Parkersburg, West Virginia. And I got there and realized it's a water airport, and that kind of sucked. And finally, on the last one, I realized it was because I flew here to KTZR, and I flew there from Pine Lake, which is also in Columbus, and it was saying like 120 or 200 miles or something. I was like, what in the world? And I figured out it was actually starting me down here near Lexington, which we'd been there before. So you got to watch out for that. For some reason, that was getting screwed up. But now we're over here at KTZR. Finally, I was able to find something going to Huntington. All these jobs are going from Huntington, so I wanted to find something getting back to Huntington so we can change, if we want to do passenger flights or something. And I finally found this one. KTZR, and it was really close to Pine Lake. Going to Huntington Bakery Goods only pays $3,600, and it's quite heavy actually for us. But we should be able to do that without a problem. And I don't have a ton of time, so I'm not going to do charts or anything. I guess we just won't do it for this episode. I've kind of almost wanted to get away from charts because everything's been, you know, these small little airports. But now we are at actually bigger airports. But I don't have a ton of time, so I got to kind of cut that out. Just for today. I'll do them in the other episodes. But I'm going to go ahead and accept this job. It's been crazy. I've been, for the past hour and a half, been trying to do air hauler stuff, and it's just been horrible. All kinds of crazy stuff going on. Alright, flying now. That's why it says 900 pounds. I think that's without fuel. Bakery goods, let's go ahead and load that up. And one thing I don't like, it doesn't tell you how far it is. Well, I guess it tells you right there, but on some of these other ones, it wasn't showing me how far it was. But I think I was getting screwed up too because it was loading me up at 19 KY instead of Pine Lake where we should have been. I don't understand that. 96 miles is the flight. We've got enough for 137, so we're good on the fuel. We're going to be quite heavy. Also, by the way, before we fly that, so I've heard about, somebody else was saying, instead of taking passengers, I think we could take cargo. Like, people have been talking about taking stuff. Like, I think someone told me they were taking, like, watches. Buying watches at one airport and taking it to another. But if you all could tell me, how in the world do you do that? Because I sure as hell can't figure it out. I see this commodity item database, but I don't know how to buy anything. Obviously, we can't construct anything. So I'm not quite sure how people do that. You have no factors or anything like that. We can't manufacture anything, right? Yeah, because we don't have anything. So I'm not quite sure. Yeah, I don't quite understand it. But if I could, do that instead of on the positioning flights, instead of just, costing ourselves money on the fuel, that would kind of be a good idea. But like I say, I don't really know how to do that. Alright, so we'll load her up again. Alright, so everything's in, the fuel's good and everything. I thought about ferrying fuel, but I can't figure out if I want to do that because I'm afraid it's going to end up actually costing me money and stuff like that. It's got screwy times now. It's like several hours ahead. We're going to go 3:18. Last position, which was at KTZR. See, I don't know if that was screwed up before or not, but it's got it right now. The KTZR to KHTS. Oh, and by the way, one other important thing. Last time, it set me up at 19 KY, and I was in the middle of the flight coming up here, and I said, well, it's not right. So I changed my position. I didn't know if Air Hauler was going to accept it. So I changed my position mid-flight in FSX, and it did accept it. But one of the big things I noticed was, as soon as I did that, the Cessna flew straight as an arrow instead of the banking to the left. So that's kind of odd. Alright, let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. Alright, everybody, here we are at the plane in KTZR, Columbus. I think I can't change that because the plane is on. Alright, so the parking brake is on. Let's go ahead and turn on our beacon and our nav with the battery. To make sure I correct the throttle. Fuel pump coming on. Go ahead and start her up. I'm going to go ahead and trim this wire down here. Alright, fuel pump comes off. Pitot heat, we'll turn that on. Alright. Sorry, it says we're at low fuel. We don't have that much fuel. Alright, now it has the line here. That was extremely odd. Hopefully it was just a one-time thing that something was screwed up. It was loading me up at the wrong place. It took me a few times to figure it out, though. What was going on? It's 96 miles. And there is a tower here. And by the way, look, it's VFR. They're not screwing me over to IFR. They keep breaking things and fixing things in Air Hauler. Kind of weird. Oh, no. Now they did set us IFR. Well, they did me VFR last time. It's kind of weird. Maybe they hadn't fixed that. Unless I thought I changed that to VFR.
Bolton ground, Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha, Foxtrot, Mike, IFR to Huntington, ready to
By the way, we're going south, so we're going to try for, we'll go for 4,500. I was thinking 6,500.
Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 6,000.
See, that's where I set it to.
Departure frequency is 132.
We're going to be so heavy, I don't want to go up to 6,500. That back?
Golf, Bravo, Alpha, Foxtrot, Mike, cleared Huntington Airport as filed. Fly runway heading, climb and maintain 6,500. Departure on 132.3, squawk 0317. Cessna, Alpha, Foxtrot, Mike. Read back correct. Contact ground on 121.8.
Alright. What's our taxi?
Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha, Foxtrot, Mike. Ready to taxi IFR. Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha, Foxtrot, Mike.
Runway 4. That's kind of crazy. I just came in on straight on 22.
Alpha 4. Contact tower on 128.1 when ready.
Acknowledge that. We'll turn on our progressive taxi.
Taxiway Charlie, Alpha 4.
Talk here to the left.
Alpha Foxtrot, Mike.
Let's go ahead and cancel that IFR.
Cessna,
Parking brake is off.
Mike would like to cancel IFR. Cessna, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike. IFR flight plan is canceled.
Air Hauler recognize that we're on the move. Alright, so taxi on over. Like I say, when I switched places in FSX and started flying Air Hauler 2, the plane went straight as an arrow. Kind of odd. I might need to raise my view up a little bit. I accidentally changed my view just a little bit ago. I hit that 2 on my keypad, which is EZDok, and accidentally changed some things. Back there, you can hear the dinging. Raise myself up a little bit. I like that right there. There we go. Now I can actually see. It's just kind of helpful to be able to see where the hell you're going. I'm going to go ahead and put out a notch of flaps. Like I say, we are quite heavy just because of our cargo, although we don't have much fuel, so that kind of counteracts that. Now, I landed here a little bit ago. Actually came in on 22, the exact opposite. It's not going to be enough runway. I was going to say because I had to come way down to get a taxiway, but we're going to need more room than that to take off. Looks like there's a taxiway here. I don't know if I still kind of want to go down a little bit further. There's another one after this, so we can probably use that for taking off. It's not like, you know, you don't need a ton of room to take off in a little Cessna, but you want a little more than that. Having a hard time following the line. She's going right on me. Set up the tower. There's a taxiway right here. Well, we're going to take this. Did a little intersection takeoff. South.
Bolton Tower, Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike at runway 4, ready for takeoff. Departure to the south. Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike, clear for takeoff, runway 4.
Sounds good to me.
Clear for takeoff, runway 4.
You know what? I don't think I turned my taxi light on, did I? Damn it. Shame on me for not turning the taxi light on. Shame, shame, shame. I see I'm a little bit too high, maybe. Better too high than too low, because when I'm high, at least I can see. See, shame on me. I did not turn my taxi light on. Now it's on with the landing lights and the strobe. Go ahead and get on out of here. Bring up my GPS. See, 22 would have been better, because that would have been to the south. But oh well. Alright, off we go. Strong pull to the left. Trying to counteract it. Get just a little more speed. Wow, she is wild to the left. Alright, we're good. I'm going to put nose down just a little bit. I want to get over those trees. I'll go ahead and retract the flaps. Now, I want to let go, and she's not really banking to the left. That's actually extremely nice. It's pretty much going straight, so I don't know why. It's kind of weird. Maybe when I changed it last time, it wouldn't change anything, but that's kind of odd. It's actually extremely strange why it's not doing it now. Maybe something's fixing it, although this version was still doing it. Just when I used FSX to change my position, it stopped doing it last time. That'll be extremely helpful landing if it's not pulling me to the left anymore. Alright, straighten her out a little bit here. Nose down just a little bit, not too much. She's gonna come way down, isn't she? Desired track is 171. Take my hands off here. She's actually banking right a little bit. That's kind of weird. And I checked my balance on the fuel, not on this flight, but before, and it was pretty much equal. It's just drifting right, so that could be wind right there. Earlier today, I took off and she banked hard left, like way worse than we had ever seen. Now it's just gently coming back to the right. You could attribute that to wind. I don't know if we have any wind. There's not really any weather. I checked Opus, and yeah, there's a couple clouds, but all in all, pretty good. So I'm happy about that. Maybe that's fixed in my simulator. I couldn't tell you what was going on. I wish I could. Go ahead and set that to climb at 700 feet a minute. Like I said, we're going to be at 4,500. 6,500, she'll struggle to get there, I'm afraid, just because we're so heavy with the cargo. But like I said, we don't have much fuel. There's Columbus. Columbus is actually pretty close to me. We're about 2 to 2.5 hours away. Although I try not to go there. I'm a Michigan Wolverines fan, so I don't think I'd be too welcome in Columbus. Although I have been there wearing a Michigan hat. Got some comments when I was there. But oh well. I'm a Michigan fan. Columbus is actually huge. I think I said that in the last episode. Like the metropolitan area is, I can't remember if it's biggest or second biggest or something in Ohio, which was shocking to me. Alright, watch our airspeed. It's starting to get a little slow. That's what I was talking about. I'm going to lower that to 500 feet a minute. So you get her loaded up, man, and this little Cessna, she doesn't like climbing. And we're only at 3,000 feet, not quite 3,000 feet. I'm gonna move it to 4. She's gonna go down past 60. Keep that up.
Alpha Foxtrot Mike, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Nice. Yeah, I was flying to Parkersburg to position, and I hadn't noticed it was water. I got on the ATC to tell everyone where it was, and when you had to select a runway, it said both were water, and I was like, what in the world? I think that's just messed up, because I've seen stuff like that before, and I got there, no, she was water. I was like, oh no. I had to start over and get another flight. I couldn't understand why it kept saying, like, on that flight, one of the options on the radio was tune to Huntington approach. I was like, Huntington? I shouldn't be anywhere near Huntington. I'm, up in Columbus over to Parkersburg. That's over to the east. That's nowhere near Huntington. She was putting me in the wrong place a couple times. Hopefully that's... I don't know why it would do that. I was going to say maybe it could be like a residual thing from the previous installation and everything. It just didn't have us moved over from the last flight. I don't know. She started us up at the right place this time, so maybe that's fixed. Like I said, the airplane wasn't drifting to the left anymore, banking to the left. So maybe that's fixed as well. That's pretty much like Columbus too. When you come up, it's farmland, and all of a sudden it's like bam, much more urban. All of a sudden, there's no gradual change or anything. It's kind of like that. Our speed is actually increasing, which is kind of crazy. Although thinning it out might have helped. So we'll just down to 80. That's 79 will be alright. Don't need to be exact. Let's see if we move this up to 500, because we're almost there. We got just under 600 feet to go. And just 90 miles. It's going to take less than an hour. Even quicker as soon as we get up to 4,500 and level on out. Alright, well, it's probably time to go ahead and speed her on up, so I'll go ahead and do that 4X and be back in just a little bit. Alright everybody, slowing it down for a minute. About 19 miles out. I'm letting it get closer because we fly so slow. Let's see. KDWU, no. It's Ashland, Lawrence County, KHTW, and here we go. Full stop landing.
Huntington Tower, Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike is 19 miles north with Mike to land. Cessna, Golf, Bravo, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike.
Runway 30.
Tower, entered right traffic, runway 30, altimeter 3005.
Alright, well, go ahead and acknowledge that.
Right downwind, runway 30. Cessna, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike.
Alright, so I'll put the heading a little bit over there. Switch over to heading. Also, let's go down here. Descend a little bit, about 3,000. I can't remember the exact elevation of the runway that we're here so often. And I do believe the two ILSs are 108.7 and 109.9. I do believe 30 is 108.7. It's not what I wanted. Wait, yes, it is what I wanted. 108.7. Switch that over. If it's wrong, then it's 109.9, I do believe. That should be right. Bring up GPS again. So there's Ashland, Boyd County. Somewhere. Should be on the other side. I think it's that right there. Should be on the other side of the river. Alright, so I'm going to speed it up a little bit. 2x. As I can say, we fly real slow. Here you can see Huntington. So we're going to have... might have to come out to the left a little bit more. Actually, I didn't even go to procedures. Now let's runway 30. Go ahead and activate that. Alright, there we go. Now at 3,000 feet, we'll go ahead and put that full rich. We're using a little bit more out of the right tank than the left one, doesn't really matter. I did notice that. Alright, thing I know the airspace ahead, okay, jeez. Tell me a million times and we'll go, I guess, right over. Is it KHTW? I can't remember. It's Ohio, Lawrence County Airport. I think if I had a general aviation plane, I'd either be at Boyd County or Lawrence County. Ashland might be a little bit closer. I don't know, though. Because Lawrence County, you can come right down 52, and I think that's where they... A lot of general aviation planes in this whole area, I think that's the main one they use. That's also where they do all the parachuting and everything up from there as well. It's really wide open over there. Just gotta hope you don't land on the highway. That or the river on the other side. I don't know if that's us. I can't tell. I think that's on this side of the river, so that would be at Lawrence County. We'll come and turn right over here. So I'm actually going to go just to the left a little bit more so we can make an easier turn over into this spot right here. Well, is that on the other side of the river? Because the river is right here. So maybe that is. Yes, that's Huntington, because Lawrence kind of straight ahead of us. "7 miles away, but that's Livre, I guess. That's what they're saying, 7 miles away. I'm gonna drop her to 2,800. It's kind of weird that we're seeing ILS lights, the PAPI lights. I mean, unless there's PAPI lights for the closed runway, I don't know if there was or not. We shouldn't be able to see PAPI lights from the side, should we? wait a second. We're actually going with the runway. So maybe that is ours. That isn't Huntington. Huntington's on down there, I think. Unless, well, shoot. No, that isn't. 'Cause that's I-64. Can't remember what that's called. Chesapeake, I think. Chesapeake, Ohio. So now you can see the ILS lights from this side too. It says we're high, so I'm going to go ahead and knock it down. Although we're going to be going out a little bit further. Down the throttle. Start making our turn. We're in 2x still, aren't we? Thought it felt like we went over a little too far. Still a little too high, it says. Knock it down to 2,500. Turn. Runway 30. Can't remember the exact heading. I'm wanting to say it's. Can't actually remember. Tweet. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Still a little too high. Bring down the power again. Wow, looking at that, it looks like we're pretty much on it, but
Cleared to land, runway
we're not.
30. Cleared to land, runway 30. Cessna, Alpha Foxtrot, Mike.
Yeah, by the look of the GPS, we were right on it. But now we've gone too far back. Alright, enough of this. I was going to use the ILS and everything. Enough of that. Enough screwing around. Trying to do ILS landing and all that. I'm just lander. Now we can set up for the ILS if we wanted to. We're right on it, on the looks of the Pappy lights. That was kind of weird. First we turned too soon and then it was too late. I looked at the GPS, it looked like we were right on it, but no, we were late. Let's see, autopilot, nav. Let's see if she'll come back over to it yet. Of course, it doesn't handle the glide slope. Or does it? I can't remember. Yeah, that does, because you can hit the approach roll, that's right. I was kind of thinking there, what does that do? It's been a long time since I've flown in the little Cessna. That's right, it does have the approach roll. We need to bring back the thrust, though. So we can start getting our flaps out. Set this to 299. Come on, speed, you get a drop. We're below the glide slope now. Autopilot off. Let me pitch my nose up. I actually won't use too much throttle yet. Let me get my speed down so I can get the flaps out. Alright, now we can do flaps. There, we're under. Don't remember there being a cliff right in front of it in real life. Second notch of flaps, got that ballooning effect.
5 and
full flaps now.
Minimums.
Landing. Now on the power a little bit. Down. Not too bad. Alright. I like coming in from this side too, because we park right over to the right.
Exit runway when able.
Track the flaps. I should have turned right there. I'm turn down here though. Alright. Turn right here. Here's the line. There we go.
Cessna Alpha Foxtrot Mike. Contact ground on 121.9er.
Alright, well, acknowledge that. I don't know why we have to talk to ground. Right there is where we're going.
Foxtrot Mike.
Alright, talk to ground. Let's turn off the landing lights. And go into parking.
Huntington
Turn off the
ground.
strobe as
Cessna
well.
Golf Bravo Alpha
You know,
Foxtrot Mike.
we don't
Request
need you.
taxi to parking. Cessna Golf Bravo Alpha Foxtrot Mike.
I hope they're not trying to say go over there.
Via taxiway
Charlie
Charlie Alpha
Alpha.
Bravo Mike. Taxiing to general aviation parking using taxiway Charlie Alpha Bravo Mike.
Yeah, it wants us to go
Alpha
around to the
Foxtrot
other
Mike.
side. Let me tell you what, we're not going to do that, because that's pointless. I don't know why they do that sometimes. They did that in Air Hauler 1 every once in a while, tell us to go over to park in the back. There's nobody here. There's no reason for us to go way over there. That might be more realistic for a general aviation plane, because over here you would have your other planes like the Dash 8. FedEx has planes here too. I think they have a 7. Well, I think they use a 737 now. They used to use the 727 Advanced up here. I think they've switched that out for a 737 in the past couple of years. I think. But we're coming right over here. Alright, stopping right here. Put the parking brake on. It's kind of weird that you can't operate that with the mouse. Taxi light can come off. Cut the throttle or mixture. Nav and beacon come off. Generator, battery, everything is off. And Air Hauler noticed it, thank God. It would suck if it didn't. It's happened before. I think they've fixed that now. It's done a lot better of picking up the tracking at the beginning as well. I haven't had to use the P or anything. Actually, I tried P before because the initial one doesn't come up, start up your engines or whatever, and I've hit pause and everything, but it didn't come up, but obviously it comes up on taxis. That's been working. Let's go over to Air Hauler and get paid. Unload this. Seems like it's been a while since we completed an actual cargo job. Okay, and I don't. Apparently, when you have passengers, there's another one to look at. I haven't been looking at that. I haven't actually really noticed it, but people have asked me to read that. Obviously, we don't have one because we don't have passengers, but I'll start doing that. I wonder if there's someone else here. 39 pilots flying. Because doesn't it look like there's someone else here? More than one plane? Anyway, we'll finish that. Alright. Took off at 3:25:58, landed at 4:21:38. Doesn't actually list the time, but it was 55 minutes down here. Takeoff fuel 84, landed with 30. So we used what, 54? Max altitude 45:31, max pitch minus 13.7, max roll minus 31.8. Max speed was 128 knots. I never exceeded minimum G's or maximum G's. How can you have minimum G's? Oh, I guess it's only... Yeah, minimum G's. How do you have a minimum G? I don't quite understand that. Stall false. Overspeed false. Landing description was okay. Landing gear down, of course, was true. Landing on asphalt. No damage to the runway or the plane. Came down to 181.9 feet a minute. A little faster than I thought. Landing speed 55.9. Landing pitch minus 5.09. Am I not... That seems like it should have already been fixed. Am I not correct? The pitch is positive unless you land front wheel first. So am I crazy? Am I wrong? Because I would think that would have been fixed if that's true, and I think it is. Landing heading 299. Wind speed was 5. And wind direction was 302, so we came right in on it. Check the radar. Is there anyone else? I guess it's just us. I'm trying to zoom in. I guess you can't. So maybe it is just us. Alright, but we're back in Huntington, back at our base. See, I don't like this. How can I not... It always says outbound jobs. How can I not just get it to where it's every single job on the entire board? I'm tired of having some moving around several times to click that to bring up all the daggone jobs. Damn you, thing. I just want to click Huntington. See, it takes me to the other job. Do you all know how do we bring up... Sometimes I can click it and it does it all right. There we go. But how do you get it to bring up all the jobs on the entire board? This just involves Huntington. How do you bring up all the jobs? I don't quite get that. We can bring up the jobs from Huntington now. So I don't know what we'll do next. See, this one pays really good, but 8 hours, I don't think I'll be able to do that. That's a long one. 284. Looks like it's going to be... That's not going to be that. G880. Is that Georgia? I don't know, because as you can see, looks like it's right over here. I can't tell. Because still, the thing doesn't come up yellow like I would like. See some other good paying ones. Nah, that's 2 Huntington. I think it's that one. Yeah, IG84 or whatever. What happened? Now stuff just disappeared. Weird. Air hauler. I wish they'd fix that. There we go. Yeah, and like I say, why can't we... Like, original air hauler, you could see every single flight on the job. Like, see, we can't even see those unless we go click on them. Since we're clicked on Huntington, I don't quite understand. I wish they'd fix that. And also, if you could tell me, how do we buy goods and stuff to start flying around? Do you have to be able to already produce them? Because we obviously don't have any money for that. Like, let's look at our money. Our financial position. We actually have 117 grand. I obviously don't have any loans or anything. Let's look at our rating. Got up to 23. You can take out loans and stuff. I saw at 40, so we got 17% to go. What did we start at 20? I believe. So if you think at it, we're at 23. What, 10 episodes or so? I think this is 10th. We moved up 3, so we got 17 more to go. That's not too bad. And if we could double up on some jobs, that would be really nice. I was actually had a flight I was trying to do. I was going to come up some job up here and then go over and pick up another one. Both of them were coming to Huntington. See, you get double the credit for that, but I haven't seen too much of that that we've been able to do. Like, how do you get a factory? Do you have to be at a certain rate or rating or something to be able to do that? I don't know what that button is. See, you can't manufacture anything. How do we do that? I don't quite get it. Construction facilities, like where do you go to? I want to build a factory. If I had the money, how would I do it? And there's nothing, can't ask because I can't get on the forums. I guess I got to contact them about getting on the forum. I clicked on it, but yeah, I can't get on the forums. So I have to ask them to let me in. Alright, everybody. That's going to be it for this episode, though. So, Air Hauler keeps on changing. They keep updating everything. Some good, some bad. But, yeah, that's it for this episode. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.